And howdy, howdy, howdy. Thank you for joining me tonight. I hope everybody's doing great tonight. This is a wonderful Sunday night. And yes, it is still nasty cold here in southern Michigan, but that's how it works. We're just going to have to deal with it. All these years living here, by now I should be ready for it. Let's see who all we got up in here tonight. I noticed we had Dusty Soda Fountain and we had Mona Englert was there. Dusty, I can't believe you're up and moving after you were out all night with Chad like that. Let's see, make sure we're not missing too many folks. Lisa Robinson, how are you doing tonight? Miss Sunrise Dawn. And Miss Sunrise Dawn also joined last night in the chat-a-thon. Beck, how are you doing? Gnomestead, my Alaska life. Awesome. Thank you for being here. Nisa, how are you doing? So tonight we got a good one for you, but it is Sunday night and we always start off our Sunday nights the same way. We bring in our good old pal Clearwater Chad and he brings us in with a weather report. How we doing, brother?
Good. How you doing, John?
Doing great. How are you doing tonight?
Good, thanks. And I do have the weather.
Excellent, excellent. Everybody expects that now.
I know, right? Well, we're gonna do Buffalo again because we still have the storm. I was shoveling all day, literally 2 feet, which is that's a good amount of snow even for Buffalo. But 32 degrees in Buffalo, precip is 10, the wind is at 11, and it's 63% humid.
Excellent, excellent. I was trying to pull up that picture you sent me.
Oh yeah. Feel free to if you want.
Yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and email that to myself so that I can
okay.
So I can pop that up here so everybody can see what you've been going through over there in Buffalo, New York. So how did the chat-a-thon go last night?
Oh, it went really good. I don't remember much of it. I did fall asleep during it.
I was about to say somebody had a whoopsie during the chat-a-thon, didn't they? So
I thought I can get away with just closing my eyes for a few seconds, but it did not work out like that.
Yeah, that's how it works, man. I mean, it's just the way life is. But at least you guys did some good stuff, and I was glad to see you got it put together. You do these, and most of the time you're there for the full 10 hours. So it's good to, it's nice to see you getting back into it and, keeping yourself going with these kinds of things. And that's part of what we do, folks, is, we're a community, we help out. So let's see, we got Lori Plays has jumped in tonight. Our good old friend Lori Plays is in here. Greg, how are you doing tonight? Janelle Art is in here. Make sure from a poet, Brian Lucas is in the house. Make sure we're not missing too many other people. All right, folks. So I know a lot of you have heard it from me. I've been talking about it a lot lately. And, it was really good to see everybody coming together and showing their support and putting their thoughts and prayers out there. Our good friend T from down in Perth, Australia. Yeah, as you know, she had some medical things that happened, and we wanted to, everybody keep her in your thoughts and prayers. And I wanted to finally bring her on. She's back up and running, and she's getting ready to jump right back into the fold, into the fight against Scientology. So I thought we'd bring her on tonight, give everybody an update. You can hear it firsthand from her. So everybody, please welcome our good friend T. How are we doing, darling?
Yay, I'm back. How you going? G'day.
Great to see you.
I had no idea. I think I found out from Mona that you mentioned me in your stream and that I was ill, and I got sent so many prayers and messages and stuff. So I really appreciate that from everyone. It was so sweet of you.
You're part of the family, hon. We look out. That's the thing. And, it's not like you were out there and had a few too many to drink and fell off the porch. This was something you couldn't just, walk away from. So
it's chance to be a fine thing.
It was great to have you give me the updates and everything. And then of course we had a couple conversations on Facebook and keeping up with you and all that. So why don't you tell everybody what it is that you had?
It was pretty horrendous. So it's been going on for about 5 months or so, maybe even longer, where I've been getting some kind of like a recurring like staph infection. I have a cleaning business, so I could have picked it up from anywhere. And it just kept reoccurring, and I was taking antibiotics for it, and I'd get like this huge sore that just wouldn't heal. Very, very painful. And also kind of like a fever, and there was a couple of times where I couldn't get out of bed. This was months ago. This just before my dad passed. And when I went over to the UK am I on auto tune? Do I sound like I'm on auto tune? Sorry.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I sound fine here.
Okay.
It's this soundboard. Hang on 1 second.
All right.
No problem.
Sorry, guys.
But everybody has different kinds of setups and everything. So you never know.
3.
Let's hear. Go
Do
ahead.
I sound like I've got auto tune now?
No, you're coming
Hello.
clear now.
Yeah. All right. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what happened. I turned all the power off and then I turned it back on and all sorts has gone on. Yeah. So just before I got the news that my dad was didn't have much longer to go, and I had to rush over there and everything. I got ill while I was over there. Well, a week before I went there. Then I took antibiotics and I was okay. Then I went over there and I was ill again, so I took another set of antibiotics. Kind of cleared up. I went to Bali, and then I got sick again. I was only in Bali for 4 days, but 2 of the days I was in bed. Took another set of antibiotics, got back to, and all the whole time as well, I had an infection in 2 of my teeth. But I just didn't have the time or the money to sort it out while I was in the UK. I thought I was sick with this staph thing at the same time as the teeth. I thought if I take the antibiotics, it will just sort it out.
Right.
And then I get back to Australia and I was just so ill. Got my tooth taken out and I was still ill because I thought it was all from this tooth. And then I think it was a couple of weeks ago, I had this like massive attack of my hands and feet were like they were on fire.
Right.
And my skin started like bubbling up on my hands and my feet, and it was just so incredibly itchy and burning. Like it just wouldn't stop itching and burning. So I went to, at this point, I'd had another round of antibiotics. So I had 3 lots of penicillin-based antibiotics, and it was still coming back. So that's when I went to the doctors, got another set. That's when we knew it was MRSA because it was resistant to the penicillin.
Oh, okay.
What MRSA is, it's a superbug. A lot of people unfortunately catch it in hospital. It can be really, really dangerous. It can be life-threatening. And I was extremely sick with it. And then so I went to when it got really bad. So I had that attack in my hands and feet. I took antihistamines and painkillers, and I went to sleep. And I had a meeting at the school for my son in the morning, and I'm sitting there in the meeting. And I'm talking, and I felt my lip just go like on one side, just like swelled up. Like in cartoons when a little bump comes up. Yeah, and I was just like, I'd already booked an appointment with the doctor because I was, I don't know, I think I was still feeling sick or something. And I went to the doctors and I told him about my lip, and he was like, "Oh, here you go, take some steroids and just, it should be okay. It's just a reaction to something." But he didn't like probe to what it was or anything. So I went home and I took the steroids, and I'm sitting on my computer doing some work for a few hours. And I'm like, God, my eyes feel really heavy and tired. I go and look in the mirror in the bathroom, and they were swollen, really swollen. And all my lips had swollen and everything. So spoke to the doctor again, and he said, go to hospital. You need to go on to like a drip of antibiotics.
Wow.
So I went to the hospital. I was there for 11 hours. Because they're very busy and very understaffed. Luckily, I had someone to look after my son. And I saw 3 doctors, and they didn't know what was going on with me. They confirmed that it was MRSA. They took a swab, they took blood tests and everything, but they couldn't figure out why. Because while I was in hospital, it got even worse. This burning, it went to my whole body, and just unbearable itching. Steroids weren't doing anything. Antihistamines weren't doing anything. And they just didn't know what to do with me, and they sort of just sent me home. Just carry on taking the steroids, carry on taking the antihistamines. We can't really do anything. We've booked you in to see a specialist on Monday. So I had to go. This was on Thursday, and I had to go, like 4 days of being in agony. And it was just horrendous. It was really horrendous. And then I went to the specialist, and so they said they still don't know that it's obviously an allergic reaction to something. So I think it was one of the painkillers or something having a reaction with one of the antibiotics, because I got put on another antibiotic the morning of the meeting with my son, which was Thursday. So it's just, so they still don't know what it is. I've got to go back to another specialist. yeah, so it's a mixture of MRSA, an allergic reaction to something, but also I now have eczema apparently.
Well, let's
As
just
well.
keep adding salt to the wound there.
And
You
then
know.
the tooth thing as well. I had to have a tooth taken out, and yeah, so it's just an absolute mess. I've still got bandages around my feet. They're still really sore and healing from just awful, like just like really deep kind of. It's, I don't know if anyone's seen like MRSA. It's horrible.
Right.
You get like these deep, really deep sores, and they're very, very sore. But through the help, like honestly, through the love and support of everyone messaging me and just checking in on me, it has been absolutely amazing. I've never been alone. I've never been alone. I've had everyone supporting me from all around the world, and I've just been absolutely blown away. So thank you, everyone. I really appreciate you. It's been lovely. It's been like having one big massive family.
Oh yeah, I mean, you've got people literally from all over the world, not just the U.S., not just Canada, people from the U.K., from the Netherlands. You know, so I know that there's been a lot of people that that had you in their thoughts and prayers, and I know that's got to feel real nice to feel that.
Yeah. And my
Let's
sister
see.
sent me a lovely bunch of flowers as well from the UK.
Nisa wants to know if you picked it up while you were at Scientology.
I haven't been there for a while, so I don't know.
Yeah.
You never know.
Let's see here. Just looking. I've just had a few people that have dropped in since. Melody, wow, all you lovely people. At last, I get to catch a live because I'm still awake at 1:15 a.m. and learn what on earth it was that made you so ill. That's awesome. Jersey Jan's up in here. Deep 5. Hope you're okay. Come to Melbourne on Thursday, T. Looking forward to seeing you.
I am okay. Yes, I'm definitely okay. The flights and accommodation are booked. I am going to be going to Melbourne on Thursday.
So let's see. Do you want to show the video clips now, or do you want to wait on that?
Oh yeah, we can do. Yeah, just a few little highlights of the last protests that we did in Melbourne.
Yep.
It was the first protest.
We can go into what you got coming up here and what kind of plans you got for next week. It is, right?
It's Monday morning here, so it's this week for me, but next week for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was Miriam France's first ever protest, and she smashed it.
Yes, she did. Here we go. Let's see.
How amazing! Amazing. Sorry, young lad.
I was just showing the signs.
Try to speak to him. I said, look, I know you've been told that we're SPs. I'm taking back the SP and calling ourselves safe people, safe person, supportive person, special people. We've got a lot of special people here, and we're not here to cause trouble. We're not here. I know you've been told that we're evil people, but if you're being told who you can and can't talk to and what you can and can't read, you know, isn't that controlling? So the first time he came out, he did give me eye contact a couple of times, and then the second time he came out, he wouldn't look at me. You know, the second guy came out, and I said, "Oh, are you on course?" like that, and he sort of nodded at me with a bit of a smile and looked. And then I started saying, "Look, I know you think we're suppressive people," and then like the eye contact went, and I said, "But we're really not. You know, we're here to help." Ron is a con. Ron is a con. Ron is a con. Ron is a con. Yeah. Ron is a con. Ron is a con. Ron is a con. Ron is a con. No more kids in Scientology.
No more kids in.
You are worthy. Know your worth. Taking away their critical thinking and boundaries. Just be careful. Don't stand in the way yet. It's child abuse. You're abusing a child. Psychological torture. Oh God, I'm like shaking. I'm so angry. Look at Reed's sign.
That's it. Yeah.
How amazing.
So, now, how long were you guys out there protesting that day?
We were there for 5 hours. Yeah, we saw a lot of kids. It was very triggering. I didn't know I was going to get triggered. Yeah, it's very busy there. Very, very busy in Melbourne. Yeah, so definitely needs to be a presence there, in my opinion. I I've been joking to the others that I should move. I want to move down to Melbourne because I'm so far away. It's like a 4-hour flight to Melbourne for me. It's not cheap either, you know. So I would love to be down there a lot more. Yeah, it's
yeah, and we were just talking just before we went live. Literally, it's a 4-hour flight for you to get over there.
yeah.
That's got to
But
be
worth it, you know. Worth it to see all the amazing people and hey, couch broccoli.
It's not cheap though, is it?
No, it's not. But yeah, that's why I can only probably do it like once or twice a year.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh.
And,
Yeah.
welcome you to Melbourne. So
Well, we'll see how my son does at high school. If he hates it, then I might have to move there.
there you go. Now, who all is going to be joining you guys this week?
So we're gonna have D5, Ree, Miriam's going to join us for the vigil. So what we're actually doing is we're doing a vigil on Thursday evening at 6 p.m. with lots of candles and stuff, and just really like a nice, respectful, quiet vigil. But then the next morning we're going to go back again and do like a proper, full-on protest. Yeah. So
I remember D5 from when we did a live stream with all of you. So
I have started to make. Hang on, I'll show you my signs. So these are really good to get. You can get them printed out on like Temu or Shein. You pay like, I don't know, $3 I think I paid for these.
Really?
And then you can do what you want with it. So you can get a poster form or canvases. And what I'm going to do with this is put it on a frame. So, oh no, that's the wrong one. Hang on a minute. I'll show you what I've got for the vigil.
That was the ad for your pole dancing class you're doing?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Behave yourself, will you, Poe? So I've got this one.
Oh wow,
Wow.
that's excellent.
Wow.
Right. Okay. So I
Oh.
can't see it very well, but so I'm going to put that onto a canvas and then like a wooden stake. I'm hoping Ree will help me out with that because we're only paying for hand luggage, you know. Last time she turned up with her drill and like an industrial stapler and all sorts of stuff from Bunnings, which is like the hardware store, like a big hardware store chain here.
Oh,
yeah, she was all over that. And then I've got one. I've just got one that's a bit simple, but I think it's an important message. Hang on. Autonomy, not auditing.
There you go.
Excellent.
Well, because it takes your autonomy away, doesn't it? And then I did another one for Miriam because she really appreciated, no more kids in Scientology, but with the blue buildings, because that's where she grew up. So it was a very powerful. She was strutting her stuff with that sign, just walking up and down with a picture of the blue buildings, and it was just amazing, So very proud of her. And then at the end as well, saying, let's just go up to the door. Let's go up to the door. So we did. We ran up to the door and confronted, and stood there with a silly man in a silly little uniform, which means nothing in the real world, That's the whole point. They think they're these godlike people, but they're not. They're just pricks in silly suits.
Well, I've talked about that, and it's no different there than it is here. You get these folks that they jump in and they become security guards. They have no real world experience of anything like that. And suddenly they think we're on the same level as police officers. I can't tell you how many times I've talked to security guards and they've literally told me, well, we do the same job. No, you don't. No, you don't. But they sure think that they do.
Jeez, you should see the police at the university I work with. You think you're talking, I don't even know that, the regular police are always very nice. These people are just mean.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
I mean, think about it. You could be out working an actual job as a police officer, but you're you're police for a university, which means you're basically babysitting a bunch of people who are just out of high school. So
the stolen valor really gets to me, and that's why I wear this hat, because it's just like, you think you're all important with these like Navy uniforms on and stuff. Well, you're not. I can wear it too. And it's just like, you know, cosplay. They're nothing. They don't mean anything in the real world. We're not intimidated by you, Osa. We're not intimidated by you. So
No, they're a joke. I mean, you got people
Yeah.
who really, you know, when I was in the Army, I earned every bit of the uniform I wore. My friends
Yeah.
that are Marines, they earned their Eagle Globes and anchors. The sailors that I know, they all earned their anchors for their uniforms, you know, and the airmen
exactly.
all weren't, you know, we earned what we wore. And
Yeah.
these folks, it's
disgusting.
an absolute
Yeah.
joke. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, even to call themselves the Sea Org, you know, that's a little.
well, it's because
It's not
Ron
okay.
Hubbard was a fraud. So why can't he just make everybody else in Scientology a fraud as well?
Yeah, true.
So, you know, misery
Yeah.
loves company. So
Yeah.
it's some amazing stuff. So what do you guys have planned coming up this week?
Yeah. So Thursday, hopefully, like, so we're renting like a hotel, like a little apartment. Hopefully get together, make some signs and stuff together, and then head on over there at 6 o'clock. And yeah, I don't know how long we're going to hang out there. Maybe a couple of hours. Miriam's going to drive down and join us. She can't join us the next day because she's got work.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're just going to hang out there, and I'm going to print some leaflets up with information, like telling Lisa's story. I just really think it's important to keep her story alive. You know, she's been
Excellent.
such a huge the story's been so big for so long. I mean, it's 30 years next year, I believe. Dusty's actually going to be holding a worldwide vigil, so this is kind of a little bit of a practice. Yeah, and I just think it's really important to keep her story alive, because the point is that these techniques are still going on. These rituals, this introspection
Absolutely.
rundown is still going on today. It's still happening today. It's still happening in Australia and all around the world. And I think it's very, very important to keep this message going, that this is going on. And we don't want it, you know.
Well,
and
I
what
mean,
it does, what it does, you know.
I mean, that shows something there in and of itself. You know, Lisa McPherson, did she have any connection with Australia whatsoever that you know of?
No, but
You
I
know?
did a show on Friday, and I talked about a couple of cases, Australian cases,
Right.
where similar things have happened, you know, just medical negligence, you know, where the people are being refused psychiatric care. There was another lady that was held in the RPF building. I believe it's still the RPF in Sydney, but I haven't got it confirmed. They held a Taiwanese girl there in a room, and she smashed a window with her hand, and ended up having to go to hospital because of that injury. But she wasn't allowed out, you know. And I believe she was doing the introspective rundown as well. So introspection rundown, sorry. Yeah.
And
So
I think that we should get back together after you do this protest in Melbourne.
yeah.
And let's highlight these folks that are from Australia, because we hear about Lisa McPherson,
sure.
we hear about Whitney Mills, but you know, those are some of the untold stories that we just don't hear about. And simply that's because of the divide, you know, how many thousands of miles away from each other we are. But now we've got, you know, the great mechanism of social media and the internet now that we can actually share these stories in real time and let people know what's going on with that.
But the thing is as well, Po, is that over the past I've noticed 3 to 5 years, maybe a bit longer, that the Australian media isn't showing these stories, isn't investigating. We don't have like Brian Seymour out there, you know, and Steve Kinane, like they were back in the day, going out covering these things and going undercover and getting the stories. And I've heard from someone behind the scenes that it's possibly what they call a D block or something, where they've actually put a block on the media, and a lot of the stories have disappeared off the internet. A lot of the links don't work anymore. You research things, stories that I know about of Australians, and they're not showing up anymore. They've been taken down. So that makes it even more important for, you know, us Aussies and everyone really to keep these stories going. Anything you hear behind the scenes, like we want it to be current, you know. We're not going to let them just sort of disappear and people think that it's not going on anymore, because it is.
Right. Well, you know, and you guys, it's no different for you than it is for us here. We've lost so much respect for our mainstream media here in the United States, and you guys are having your own controversies over there, like with the the Army Special Forces guy who they doctored the film of to try to make it look like he had committed war crimes over there. And, literally to this day, they still won't apologize for creating a deep fake. So, I mean,
Okay.
it's going on everywhere. You guys are feeling the same pinch we are. And, our media, no matter where you're at, it seems like they're bought and paid for by someone. And I'm not surprised that, Scientology's not going to step up and try to do what they can to block the media bad news about them. So,
Well, I mean, they're trying to pass a bill in Australia. I haven't actually followed up what's going on, where they really, really restrict what you're talking about. Like, it has to be this. I should do a thing about it, really, because when I try and talk about it off the cuff, I'm not very good at remembering facts. But
okay.
yeah, they're trying to pass a bill where they are basically censoring you. It has to be like a proper truth. But it's like, well, how do you validate what's true and what's not? How does the media validate? So what for just ordinary YouTubers, people going on Facebook, people going on TikTok, they want to do that for everyone. Like, really hammer down on the content, and it's all because somebody did a deep fake of the PM down here, the Prime Minister. And
Yeah, of course, when it affects a politician, they all of a sudden something be done about it.
He's
deep fake,
about some memes, and he wants.
Yeah.
But I think it went through. I think it actually went through, but just for under 16-year-olds. I'm not sure.
Wow.
But,
let them deep fake an Australian Special Forces guy, and barely gets any coverage on it, and nobody even apologizes for it. But let them do it to a PM, and all of a sudden the world's got to stop for that stuff. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So us guys are important. Us little YouTubers. We're trying to get the real news out. I verify everything as much as I can before I put it out. I don't do things by hearsay. I like to be as factual as I can.
Right. And that's a lot that you have to do, because I mean, in this day and age, if you say something and it turns out not to be true, we're not like these big conglomerates that are the mainstream media who have 1,000 attorneys ready to back them up. It comes down to, we're the ones who take the hit for it, and we're the ones who get in trouble for it. So that's
we've got so Mad Drop Bear. I just want to do a shout out to Mad Drop Bear. He's awesome. He's going to be joining us on Thursday. We're going to meet for the first time. We've got D5s coming. We've got Miriam. Not as many people as last time. I think we've got Jay King coming as well. Possibly a couple of people that I've never met before from the auditing community. So the equivalent to First Amendment orders, but in Australia, because we don't have the First Amendment, but they kind of audit events and police being naughty and stuff like that.
Well, Mad Drop Bear was saying that you guys are doing you're doing good, but having a male presence there will be good to have for you. So
thanks, mate. Appreciate that.
There you go. I mean, you all got cojones, big as a horse. There's no worries there, but when
we don't need cojones, we've got ovaries.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Metaphorical
whatnots.
But the thing is you guys have got the grit, but it'd be nice to have that back up there in case something does happen.
Yeah.
I don't.
Like, I used to work on a cattle station with a load of guys, and bulls, massive bulls with heads like this. So yeah, I'm not scared. I'm not scared of anything. What's the worst they can do?
We just don't want to see another incident like what happened with Miriam. We don't want to see you guys getting, have somebody assaulting you. Thank goodness that guy was such a dweeb that, I don't think he could have really done any damage, but I mean, they get the wrong person.
Honestly, it doesn't bother me. It really doesn't bother me, because they're the one that are going to get into trouble for it. I'm not going to be attacking anyone. If they want to attack me, they're just digging their own grave, as far as I'm concerned,
The big problem is how quickly they close the ranks on everything and try to block off everything. Koala Craft says, have one in Sydney and I will be there with bells on.
Oh, so Koala Craft. So there is actually, Electric Boogaloo is going to be at the what's her name? Castlereagh org at 6 o'clock as well. There hasn't been a lot of interest in it, so but yeah, if you want to message her, can I don't actually know. Actually, if you message me on Facebook or email me, I can pass your details on to her. Let her know that you're coming, and you can meet up with her if you want. I think there might be a couple of people are showing interest now. So last minute, but she'll be there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, bye, Joel. Sorry, I didn't see what Joel said.
He was saying he's gonna
Just say
be taking off. So
Yeah.
thank you for being here, Joel. It's good to see you back
Hi,
around.
Rachel. So we're doing Pat Jonas. Sorry, we're doing one. So the main one we're doing in Melbourne at 6 o'clock, a vigil for Lisa, and then I think there might be a couple of people at Sydney as well. So anyone that wants to go to Sydney, that would be great. Yeah, just email me. My email's perthaudit@gmail.com, and I'll put you in touch with the guys that are going to be there. It'll be at the Castlereagh, I think that's how you say it, in the city. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. There we go. And I just put your email in there so everybody can see.
Thank you.
And
Be like a quiet vigil with some candles and stuff in memory of Lisa.
Excellent. And Pat, if you want to email out to T, then she'll be able to get you the information that you need. And Dusty, I'm glad you brought it in there. They're going to be having a candlelight vigil in Clearwater after the Australian vigil from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern. So it's
I think that'll work out. Do you have daylight savings in Florida? I don't know.
Yeah, in the entire country we have.
Okay. So, because what time is it for you now? It's 9:30 a.m. here.
8:32 p.m. here. So.
Okay. So it's like 11 hours. Did you go back?
Yeah, you guys are. Wait a minute. It's 9.
So I don't have daylight savings.
You said it's 9:30 there.
9:30 in the morning, Monday. Yeah.
So you're 13 hours ahead right now.
Right. Okay.
So, there we go.
So, yeah, I don't think there'll be anyone in between me and Dusty. I don't know. I don't know how we're going to do it next year. It'll be interesting to see how it turns out. But I'm guessing unless there's someone in New Zealand, that would be first, and then Sydney, Melbourne, Perth, and then.
The problem is if it goes over 10, Dusty can't count it because he runs out of fingers and toes at that point. So, and Pat says it's Castlereagh.
Castlereagh, that's it. I was in Castlereagh. I don't know why. Castlereagh. That's right. That's the org they have in the city, and then they have the big headquarters in Chatswood, and then they have the RPF building in the west of Sydney,
and
which I really want to go and investigate.
12:32 Monday there. So
yeah, so they've changed their clocks over in the eastern states, so they're 3 hours ahead of me as well. So
Arizona's the only one that doesn't have it. I thought all states had it. No.
Oh wow!
How do you know up in Alaska? You guys are up there telling time by the northern lights. What are you talking about?
John, do you think this is a serious question? Do you know if the sovereign citizens celebrate daily savings time?
Oh God!
I have no idea.
Isn't that a good question?
Is it a constitutional rule? That might be the problem there. So
probably
you guys got your fair share of those in Australia, don't you?
I haven't seen any, but I have been watching some of the American stuff with some of the judges. There's one judge, I can't remember his name, but he's amazing. He's got glasses and he wears like a little dicky bow. He's fantastic. I can't remember his name, but I've been watching a lot of those lately. They're so silly, aren't they?
Oh, and Hawaii, as Dusty says, Hawaii doesn't either. So
okay,
but it's always sunny in Hawaii. So I mean. Here's an interesting one. I've been in touch with our good old pal Nasty Nathaniel, who is actually over in London right now, and in the next couple of days he is going to be auditing both the North Korean embassy in London, and then he's going to be auditing St. Bill. So
hey Cheryl.
Oh, look who's in the house. Trouble knows how to find us, doesn't it? How bad that snow up there in Minnesota, Cheryl? I know it's going to be killing you with those temperatures. Let's see. Okay. I live in Arizona, and only certain parts around the reservation still do daylight savings, but the rest of Arizona does not. Okay. We learn stuff every day. I didn't know it.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah. Greg says we don't need it in Perth. We've got enough sunlight. Yeah. Yeah, like last week we had 89 degrees Fahrenheit.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm sending you all some sunshine, guys.
Yeah. We could
trying to get cold, isn't it, for you guys?
Use it in Buffalo, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now we're 26 degrees here. So 26 degrees
That's Fahrenheit. Because we're
Yeah.
in Celsius, so then I have to work it out. Like, yeah.
Oh, I know. It
Cold.
drives me nuts because I get to when I'm traveling and I see that, you know, and everything's in Celsius, that's -3 for you in Celsius.
Wow. I've got a fan on, mate. I've got a fan here. I'm so hot.
Well, that must be nice. I'm sitting here with a heating pad over my feet. So
Are you? Oh,
yeah.
no.
Well,
Yeah, sending you some sunshine, guys. It's going to be interesting when it's summer for us and winter for you.
Well,
Talking to people online and seeing you all rugged up and, you know, we're in like our bikinis and stuff. Not that I'm going to be in a bikini online. That would be very scary.
well, we're all my family. We're all, you know, good corn-fed people, so we normally keep it cooler in the house. Normally, what we would do around here is in the you know, in the winter, we'll keep our house set at, you know, our house temperature set around 60, and
Yeah.
that is 15 degrees in Celsius. So we'll keep the house set at that temperature in the winter because it's always easier to just put more clothes on, and
Yeah.
we like it a little bit cooler anyway.
Yeah.
Let's
So I'm just hoping that I completely heal because I'm still healing. I've still got bandages on my feet. I'm still itchy, which is just ridiculous. But yeah, I'm going back to another specialist, but hopefully I'll be on top form on Thursday and Friday, and yeah, just all over it. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing people again.
And
It'll be awesome.
Rachel says, just happy it's not a gazillion degrees anymore. So Rachel
Yeah.
Mark, yeah, it's you know, but I mean, it's really interesting because, you know, we've talked about this before. In northern states here are the cold parts of the country, whereas for you, the southern states are the cold parts, and it's exactly the opposite for us for the hot parts. So I mean, it's really, you know, you know, some people just can't handle it, but you know, that's how it goes. So other than the Lisa McPherson memorial that you're going to be doing, I don't want to say protest, it's going to be more of a memorial and a remembrance. What about what about after that are you guys looking at?
Just an ordinary protest. I mean, so for the Lisa McPherson thing, I want to hand out the leaflets with her story, you know, keeping her story alive. But also kind of like trying to get local members of the community to join it, like to be aware of what's going on in their community. We've got has been in touch with the local council and stuff, so we're hoping to talk to a few of the board members. You know, we really want to kind of start getting into the community and letting them know what is going on and that it's not okay. There are local businesses, you know, what they're putting their money into, you know.
Right.
So yeah, the next day will be all about promoting what we do, the SPTV Foundation, the abuses that are going on, you know, just keeping the news going, because it's not on the TV. It's not on the TV. We want people to be aware. So I'll be making informational leaflets about kind of like bullet points about what the abuses are that go on. They're going on in your city.
You know, the folks you got that are going to be part of it that live in the Melbourne area, and then the ones that are going to be in Sydney, you know, the Facebook groups would probably be a good place for that. You know?
Yeah, well, that's where we're going to put the details of the Facebook group as well. And I for some reason ended up paying for a WordPress site, and then I tried to edit it and everything, and I'm just like, no, it's too hard for me. And I should have just stuck with the Facebook because you can do everything on there anyway. You can upload files and photos and stuff. So I just probably won't bother with that. I should have see if I can get a refund. I don't think you can.
Let's see. So you're going to be doing, what time are you guys starting with the protest then?
The next day, 10 a.m.
10 a.m. And you're going to be running until what time, your time there?
I'm not sure because I'm going to have my son with me. So as long as he can handle, maybe not too long. Yeah.
Well, you know, I mean, give him a charged up tablet and a place to sit, and he should be good to go.
That's the plan. Yeah. He'll have a chair and a little, maybe even a little, depending if it's sunny, like a little sun like tent thing. Maybe he can sit in and
give him an umbrella.
He's excited.
Yeah.
Okay.
These kids nowadays, there's something else. You give them anything electronic, they're good for hours. They'll be all right with it. So,
well, he's excited because I'm making a T-shirt for him. I said, "What do you want on your T-shirt?" And So he loves his cat. So we're gonna
Oh,
we're
okay.
gonna have one that says my cat is OT, and it's gonna be a picture like our cat's face with like green glowing eyes. So he's
Yeah,
looking
there
forward
you
to
go.
getting that t-shirt. Yeah.
He'll be happy about that. That's good
Yeah, I'll be
stuff.
making that for him today. But
Yeah.
also I'm hoping if I get time, because I always plan too much and then do it last minute. That's ADHD for you. I might be doing this. I've got a dress, okay? So I do
What?
sublimation printing. Did you say you do sublimation printing, Poe? Do you know
No,
what it
I
is?
don't. No.
Oh, okay, but you know what it is, right?
Yep, I do the heat transfer.
Yeah, but this sublimation you can print out onto different substrates and stuff. So I've got this
Right.
dress, the long white dress, and I can print on this. So what I want to do is put all the names of the list on it, and then loads of
Oh,
like
nice.
different images and
Yeah.
phrases and just colors and just
Have you
but
got a place there that can do that for you?
a place.
Yeah, where they'll be able to do that, or are you going to do that yourself?
I do it. I can do it. I do sublimation
Oh,
printing.
excellent.
Yeah, so I can
Yeah.
design all the stuff myself, print it out, and then transfer it onto the dress.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
hoping.
Yeah,
It's going to be hot. It might be hot.
I looked into doing the dye sublimation. I just didn't want to spend the money to do it. I've got the heat transfers. I've got the vinyl cutter, and I've also got the, we can print them straight out off the inkjet from there. So
Yeah.
I've never really, the dye sublimation just seemed like it was just going to be too expensive to be able to try to do that.
Oh, well, I mean, I got the printer. I converted just an Epson Eco Tank. I converted it myself. So it was like, I
Right.
think $400 for the printer. And then once you bought the ink, it's like $100. This is Australian money, so it'd be cheaper for you. $100, and that'll last. I mean, my inks lasted me over a year,
Wow.
Yeah, and then just the paper. You just buy the special paper, and that's
Okay.
it. It's actually really, I find it quite, once you've got the setup. Oh, and then you need the heat presses as well. But obviously, if you're doing HGV, you've already got
Yeah.
the heat press, So yeah, it's only like maybe like $300-400
Well, that's not
your
bad.
money to set it up. Yeah, and it's well worth it. There's loads of things you can sublimate. Anything with poly.
Well, plus you
certain poly
start getting
chains.
good enough with it, you can actually do that as a side gig. So
I was doing it for 3 years. And I got bored of it, so now I just do it for fun.
and Dee says she's going to have her SPTV shirt that you made for her on. So
Awesome.
yeah. For me, one of the big problems I had was, I got the stuff because at the time when I first got all of it, I was doing, I was promoting the MMA shows, the cage fighting events. And it was just cheaper for me to do it that way for like all of my staff, my referees, things like that. We were doing up all of our own shirts. And, but it's gotten to the point nowadays where you can literally just go online and have them done up, have them to you in a week. And it was just cheaper for me. So, but if you're just doing like a one-off, that would be the way to go for it,
Yeah. Like I have no idea what I'm going to do with that dress. It's just random as I think of it. And then even bring it there and people can just draw on it,
Yeah. Well, I mean,
know.
Ree does some amazing art, and
yeah, she's great. Yeah.
I mean, that can literally be one of those things that, all the different protests you're doing and all that, everybody's signing them, putting their own personal messages on it.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things that just keeps going. So,
that's right. Yeah.
So,
I'm excited. I've got lots to do.
Oh, yeah. So now you don't have First Amendment auditing rights there in Australia. Am I correct with that?
No, we have freedom of expression. I mean, I think you can
protest.
Yeah, like I mean, it's. I guess you can say what you got to be careful what you say, because if you're out there like saying things that are defamatory or like derogatory towards them, going,
right.
It depends. You can't just go saying the kind of stuff you say in America, because it could be like verbal abuse. It'd be
or like Johnny Somali's doing over in South Korea.
Yeah, no way. Yeah, no way. That's insane. Yeah.
This world's getting worse by the hour. But anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, and so
he wants to come to Australia. So
come to Australia, everyone, apart from you.
Yeah. A lot of animals to get him there.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, mate, if I saw him, he would be shutting his mouth. Trust me.
you have major vilification laws there.
Yeah, it's so if you put say if you put like on a sign, you know, Scientology is a child abusing cult or whatever, they could get you done for defamation.
Wow.
It just depends. Yeah, it just depends if they want to go ahead with that and if they know who it is that they're trying to get.
Right.
You know, like I don't think they know my name, not yet. But
Yeah, that's pretty bad. I mean, you know, I mean, for us, you know, with having freedom of speech and a lot of the constitutional rights that we are, it's hard to fathom not being able to just speak your mind about something.
it's when I watch you guys, I'm just like, I want to come to America. I really want to say what I want to say. So yeah, you got to be diplomatic with what you put out there here.
Well, there's an Australian YouTuber who did a review of a battery system from an Australian company, and not only was he being sued, but he was being looked at for criminal charges for defamation. And thankfully, as Servalon fan says, you know, truth is a defense, and he was able to back up everything that he was saying. He wasn't defaming them. He literally was just showing the results of actual scientific tests on their product. But I mean, this guy, he was facing losing everything. So let's see. Yeah. And Couch Broccoli's got it right. You don't think about how great freedom of speech is until you hear about it from people that don't have it. So
yeah. So when they were trying to pass this thing in Australia about silencing us even more, you know, there's been uproar.
I bet. Yeah. It's you know, and you know,
I don't know what would happen if that went through. It would just be like absolute, you know, revolution.
Wow. Let's see. The Vilification Act came about because of religious organizations making claims against other religions. Wow. That's it's a very interesting world. I mean, you know, you have one country where you can literally just talk straight up cash shit about somebody, and then in other countries you can't even say hello without getting in trouble. So it's crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
So and
but it could be worse. It could be worse.
Now I saw you and I did the video call the other day, and you were back to work. How's that going now for you after your nice little episode with MRSA and the allergies?
Well, yeah, the thing is I'm not supposed to use any chemicals, and I use chemicals at work, so and I hate wearing gloves. It's like a sensory thing for me. I hate it. So I've been trying to like do things without getting it onto me, and I did get a bit of bleach on me, and then my arm swelled up. So I'm just wondering if I've got these allergies that have started or something. I don't know. Who knows?
It very well could be that through the MRSA or something else, you're actually having a case of the chemicals that you're using and cleaning. You're now becoming allergic to. And
I know, it's crazy. Yeah.
that's
luckily that's not my only job. Oh. Yeah, that's not my only job. So I've got 2 or 3 jobs. So
all right, look, I came in here late. Everybody make sure you let Marilee know. Shame her for being late. So no, thank you. Thanks for being here, Marilee. Let's see. Can you wear cotton gloves under the rubber gloves?
Yeah, just any kind of gloves. It drives me balmy. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to though.
Well, I mean, that's a sad point of it, or maybe you're going to have to look at different cleaning concentrates. So it just, you know, I mean, we have to adapt and overcome. That's the way we get around this stuff. You know, you got to have a job, and you just got to figure out a way that's going to do it without making you sicker. So, and you're not wearing yourself out, are you?
No.
Yeah. Okay. I saw that look up and.
Well, no, actually, I said the other day when I did my live, I was like, oh, I've got so much energy. But it turned out it was the steroids that I was on, and they were stopping me from sleeping. So I had a couple of nights. I found out from Keela on Mental Health Matters. I was on hers, and she said, oh, these steroids are keeping me awake. So I stopped taking them. But still, for the next 2 days after taking them, I was up till like 3 a.m. So I had a couple of nights where I got maybe 2 or 3 hours sleep. So I have recovered from that probably today. Like I had a really nice relaxing weekend. with my son, and so I'm all recovered now.
Right. And it's nice that you were able to spend the time with your son. Like you said, one of the big, it was about you not being on the internet and just you and him, and that was
we went fishing, and we didn't
What'd you catch?
Nothing. We didn't catch anything. I couldn't believe it.
I'm so ashamed of you.
But we couldn't get the bait we wanted, so we were just using
As
like
long as
little.
you got to get out there and drown some bait and enjoy nature, that's the main thing. So,
It
You
was good to get him
my
out of the
taipan
house.
yet?
Sorry?
Did you get my taipan or emulga yet?
No, not yet. No.
Yeah, and Pat's right. It takes a few days for the steroids to get out of your system. I can tell
they were
when
nasty.
I can tell when the doctor's giving them to my wife. I'm just like, ooh, it's going to be a long week now, buddy. It's going to be
Did she get grumpy?
grumpy. Oh my gosh, her get grumpy? No, she's just like a monkey on meth, and I'm spending the whole time trying to keep up with her. I'm the one who's getting grumpy about
I
it.
had no idea it was going to do that to me, and I honestly, I slept one whole day, and I forgot to take my antidepressants, and so I had a whole day where I didn't take them. So then I got withdrawals from that because I'm on quite a high dose, and it was just an absolute nightmare. So I won't be taking them again.
Yeah. Let's see. Ganawandai says aloe vera helps the itch and helps healing.
Yeah, I have been using aloe vera. I do have aloe vera plants, and it's helped a little bit. Yeah, but all the other stuff, like
after they cut my arm here, one of the things I was talking to a friend of mine, and I said, I'm just not happy with how it's healing because they got that big lumpy scar there, and he's like, put preparation H on it. I'm like, yeah, right. I come home and I tell the wife, she goes, I've heard that works really good on scars. I go, I'm just not putting preparation H on my arm. I just don't. I think
mine are small. Mine are small, but they're like deep. I don't know if you can see. Hang on.
Mm-hmm.
It's gross. Hang on. How do I can't get it.
Yeah, but you're healing now, and compared to how everything looked, in the when it was in the growth of it.
Horrendous, like honestly.
Did you also find, Pat was wanting to know, did you also find yourself being super hungry?
Yes, I didn't know that was because of it. No, I ate like everything in the house. Like yesterday, I was just eating and eating. Okay, yeah, I'm not going to take them again. I had no idea to do that. And I've been taking gut health stuff as well.
And Drop Bear, I'm sure it is, but I haven't had that problem, so I'm not worrying about it, and I'm sure not slopping it on my arms either. So, oh no. Let's see, but Gnomestead, I agree. It looks a whole lot
you can really
better.
see, but there's stuff.
Yeah,
there's stuff going on. Yeah, and there's quite like deep ones, like that one there. Whoops, that's really really deep. And
but
there's another one around there as well.
Yes, you just went through. You look amazing. Yeah. So don't.
Oh, I had like bumps coming up on my face. I had like just my ears, my whole scalp was on fire. It was horrible.
Yeah.
Thanks, Indigo. Love you too.
That's one of the that's one of the sad parts about it. I mean, it's we were all trying to figure out what was going on because we got the pictures of what was going on, especially with your legs and everything. I was real worried because someone said they thought it could be dengue, and I know about dengue and just how dangerous that is. And when I looked at the photos, I was like, holy crap, it could be. And having had malaria, and then knowing that dengue is much worse than malaria, I was like, Lord have mercy, please.
I haven't been anywhere that was dengue. I don't think they maybe in parts of Bali, but not where I was.
Well, all over Indonesia, it's the mosquitoes. It's just how bad the mosquito populations are there. That was like with me in Malaysia. I'm literally a mile outside of city center of Kuala Lumpur, the capital of Malaysia, and they had the mosquitoes there. But yet in the capital city where my friend lived, where I was staying, they literally left the windows and doors open all night long because you didn't see any mosquitoes there. So
Yeah, right.
it's
I
it's
get
wild.
eaten. They love my they love my sweet pommy blood. So I drown myself in DEET every day, every night, every morning, afternoon, and night. It's DEET, which isn't good for you, but I
Yeah.
have reactions to it.
Yeah, I bet. And Pat,
Yeah,
the emotional stress also
yeah.
takes its
I,
toll on
I
you too.
haven't even. I feel like I haven't even processed my dad's death. You know, because I
Right.
didn't actually even see any evidence of it.
Yeah.
I didn't go to Scotland. I still don't have his ashes. There was horrendous stuff going on with that.
Yeah.
They actually cremated him without telling any of the family. And I found out when I got to Bali, and it had actually happened while I was there, so I could have collected them. So just absolutely horrendous. It was the last couple of months,
Oh
and
yeah.
it all just kind of happened at once. So I'm hoping that it's going to be a new year soon, new year, new start. What else could happen?
Absolutely. And everybody,
Howdy.
make sure you say howdy to Sharifa Dorder. Sharifa, thank you for being back on.
Hey.
We love having you around. It's awesome. Let's see here, just trying to make sure we're not missing anything else. So, what kind of medicines do they have you on now?
Well, they actually
Anything?
told me to stop taking everything because we still don't know what caused the reaction. So I'm not taking anything, just my antidepressants. That's it.
Yeah.
That's
So
good.
yeah, to figure out, like, I'm not taking any antibiotics. They said it's not, the MRSA isn't active anymore. So, but one good thing that's happened out of all of this, right? So my autistic son has shared my bed for the last 11 years. 11 years, right? I
Right.
now have my bed to myself. I have my king size bed
Well,
all to
get to
myself
stretch
for the first
out and
time in 11
everything.
years. Yeah.
Yeah.
So because
And
he was terrified of catching it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And Sharifa, it's a sad story, but she's on the mend now. She's looking great. She's doing great. We're very happy because
I think
he's
she
part
might
of our
mean
family now.
about my dad. What's happened
Oh,
with my
okay.
dad? Yeah. There's
Yeah,
even more to that. Yeah.
Well,
There's a lot more to that story.
yeah, we were talking about that, and it's just unfortunate. I mean, and there's so little that you can actually do because of just the way the things are, and
Yeah.
it's okay. And she says, yes, that was about your father.
Oh
Let's
yeah.
see.
Well, there's the whole stepmom saga side of that as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I'm actually supposed to be doing a stream with Mental Health Matters, telling my story of my whole life story of trauma and all the depressing stuff, just to get it all out. I think it can be therapy for people talking about their story. I don't think I've actually sat down and told my story from beginning to end, because it's been trauma every decade of my life. Oh, and actually I have an update on that. So one of the traumas that I went through when I was 17 to 20, I was in an extremely abusive relationship, every type of abuse you can imagine. And thanks to watching the courage of Miriam and her not giving up the fight and her bravery, I actually went to the police in the UK in October last year. I went there the first time I went there, and then I almost sort of gave up and didn't do the interview and everything. But I don't know, there was something about her and her courage, and I pursued it. And he actually 2 weeks ago, they arrested him. They arrested my abuser. So this was a 23-year-old historical abuse case. So yeah.
That's one of the things I
currently on
really dislike here in America is that they have time limitations, and and I just think that that's horrible, especially on abuse cases like that. There shouldn't be a statute of limitations. They should, it should be able to carry on. I don't care if the perpetrator is 80, 90 years old. If you're doing that stuff,
Absolutely.
you need to pay the price.
I agree.
It's just trying to gather evidence. That's the only thing. So I've got to get more evidence with the names of therapists that I've seen over the years that I've told my story to. I've got a few witnesses that have seen. So there's no actual witnesses of the actual abuse happening, but there is another lady who's coming forward as well that I've been speaking to, who was in a relationship with him after me and had similar things happening. So yes, horrendous stuff. So there's two of us coming forward, maybe some more will come forward as well. Yeah, he needs
gets
it.
to see what it's like to be abused himself. So you know, sorry, but
Yes.
not sorry. That's
Well,
how
when
it
they
is.
arrested him, they found some items in his home as well, so that should help because it was
Good.
probably to do with
Yeah,
stuff.
children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no. Well, he had like this obsession with martial arts, and he had all
Oh.
these weapons. He had a lot of illegal weapons and stuff like that he liked to use. So,
Oh my gosh, he's one of those. He's
yeah,
one of those
obsessed with
fake,
Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee, and thought that he was, he had the triple nunchucks and all of that stuff.
he's one of
Um,
those fake experts. So, you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
he's a
But
kind
then
that gets out
he only
there.
uses it on women. I've never seen him fighting a man. So,
Yeah, he's the kind that gets out in his front yard with the katana and practicing with all that stuff.
oh
But
yeah,
the minute a real man stands up to him, he folds. So, and folks, if you're one of those who got one of the 5 memberships gifted to you by Sharifa, make sure that you let Sharifa know you appreciate it. And thank you, Sharifa. We appreciate you here. You know, you're part of the family too, and we love having you here. No matter what, just seeing that you're on here and making sure that you're doing good, hon. Let's see. Gunna Wondai wants to know when you're going to be doing the Mental Health Matters. Let them know, and they're sending hugs and love. Very inspired by your choices for your future.
yeah. I'm not sure when yet. Actually, we just I said I'm ready. I'll try and talk to her today and see if I can get it in there before I go and protest. I've got lots of things to make though, so.
And
will see.
if you got one of those 5 from Mona Englert, make sure you let Mona know you appreciate it. Thank you, Mona. We appreciate you so much. Let's see. Ozzy Drongo just popped in to say hi. Have a great rest of the day.
Good day,
So,
mate.
I mean,
Thanks for popping in.
if this doesn't show you, you know, how much support, how much people really care about you, you know.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm very, very grateful for this community. Honestly, with all the abuse and stuff, I've always been a talker. I tell everyone my story. I'm an oversharer, but people never know what to say. They just kind of look at you like, whoa, and they don't know how to respond. But in this community, I found so many people where they've either been through the same or they feel the same. They understand trauma, and they just seem to know what to say, and they're there for you. And I can be there for them as well. And it's incredible. Coming on YouTube's it's changed my life. I'm very, very grateful for everyone here.
and that's how I feel. It's sharing your traumas, sharing what you've been through, and it helps to release that weight off of your shoulders.
It's validating, it's not like, oh, just shut up and get over it. That's what you get in the rest of the world with people that don't understand. So it's very validating, which is important.
Knowing that people actually listen, understand, and care. That I think that to me is the most validating point of it all. So all right. Well, we are sitting here on 1 hour. So Chad, you got anything to say before we start wrapping this up?
Just that it was a pleasure as always, John Poe, and T. It's great to see you as always.
And it's
you
good
too,
to
mate. Lovely to see you in your shirt. Your lovely shirt.
Oh, thank you.
Chad's got that faux hawk going on tonight. So let's see here.
Yeah, I did notice the hair, Chad.
No, you could tell I didn't do my hair today.
Indigo Ghost says you are not alone. Trust that we all shall catch you. There you go. Absolutely.
Thank you, darling. And she's a great support. She's one of the great supporters. And Marilee as well, who's now my adopted mum.
There you go. Excellent.
Thanks,
Marilee is just a great person.
She's
very
beautiful.
supportive and even though she showed up late tonight, but I'm joking.
I forgive you.
Yeah, always. So T, any parting thoughts before we wrap this up here?
Parting thoughts, just anyone that wants to join us, please reach out to me at my email. It's there under my name there. Just reach out. Anyone, any info about Australia that you'd like to get out there. And just if you can come along and show your support by watching and sharing and
and definitely get it to me. I've got a whole bunch going on this week, but if I can, we'll live stream it through my channel as well, like we did last time, and hopefully get it out to as many people as possible. And even if I may not be able to be here as part of the live stream, hopefully we can at least link it and live stream it through my channel and let it run while it's going. So I
Yeah,
think
okay. I don't really understand how that sort of thing happens, but we can work it out. And I
yeah.
want to kind of connect. I want to connect with Sydney as well. So,
Yeah,
to show, stand an alliance.
it's
So
it's pretty much the same way as this. You're going to be the host. You send the link out to me. You send it out to someone from Sydney. We play it through ours, and even though we may not be in it, it still plays through our channel at the same time. So
yeah.
that's the nice thing about it is. So let's see.
I just want to can I just give a little shout out to Journey? So
yeah.
I don't know if anyone's seen the interactive map that she's been making. She's been working on it. I'd love it. Maybe me and Journey could come on, or maybe Journey could come on and do a show with you, Poe, about that, because she's been working so hard on it, and you might be able to help us with some ideas of how to sort of get it out there, how to break it down, like the sheer size of what is going on. So she started off because on their website, on Scientology's website, they claim to have 11,000 churches and missions. So she has been putting pins and doing research for the last 7 months, verifying every location, just working so hard. And there's a lot of places that need verifying. In fact, actually, I was going to ask you, Poe, sorry to keep you, but do you have any contacts in Taiwan?
Taiwan? No, I have Japan, Thailand, Philippines, Cambodia, Vietnam, Malaysia, Singapore, South Korea, but Taiwan's one of the few that I really don't. I've only been there a couple of times.
Yeah, I just want to know if there's any protesters out there or any way we can kind of get the word out in Taiwan, because it is the main recruiting main country they recruit from for Australia. I think 50% of the members are
it's rough
Taiwanese.
there because they are locked in really tight with the government in Taiwan.
Yeah.
So, that's one of the things is that they are very deeply involved with that. What?
Yeah.
I don't understand, Marilee. I don't know how that is. But Journey, shoot me an email, and definitely we'll have to get together and put that out there and get it out to as many people as possible. All the great work that you've been doing with this stuff. So folks,
I think it's just verifying locations, and if there's any mistakes, to let her know. Just email her.
I have some friends that are in Malaysia that I know have family or friends in Taiwan, so I'll see what kind of links I can do that. And
I think as well, Vietnam, I know some schools in Vietnam, because I'm not sure if she has those. I know there's a Narconon there. They were trying to cure people of Agent Orange, weren't they, of the Narconon? But yeah, that would be great. Oh, hi, Wendy.
Hey, Paul, how you doing? Thanks for being here.
Well.
Yeah. So
we're going to South Africa soon. Sorry.
Thank you all for being here tonight. We appreciate you all so much. It was important. I wanted to make sure that we got it out there so that you all could see firsthand just how well Tia's doing now, how she's bouncing back and recovering. Not just recovering, she is ready to take the fight right back to Scientology. That's one of the big things that we're all here for, is to stand up to this cult that is abusing people. They are, the tragedies that are going on with children, the things with people like Lisa McPherson, Whitney Mills, and countless others that we don't even know about. But the thing is that we got to keep them all in our minds, keep it fresh. Don't just let it, fade away. The moment that they fade away, then we stop losing part of that, the drive that we need to fight this organization and bring them to their knees. The goal of this isn't just to stop what they're doing. It is to shut down Scientology altogether. And we have to keep it fresh in our minds. We have to make sure that we stay vigilant on the fight. And remember, folks, as always, life is short. You get one shot. Make it count.